Y'all already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. Monday. Hope y'all had a good weekend. I worked Saturday, took off Sunday, did some things Sunday with the channel, did some things Sunday with the family. Now it is Monday and I'm back on the grind. So I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. So let's go ahead and get into the reason for today's video. Y'all read the topic, 5 nastiest jobs in prison. You don't really think of all the things that actually take place in that place unless you've been there. You usually associate prison with what you see on TV. Stabbings, guys being taken advantage of, commissary, fighting. But there's much more that goes into it than all that. There are jobs that must be done. People have to work in there. If not, it just turns into a giant pile of manure. Somebody's got to clean up in there. Somebody's got to do this. Somebody's got to do that. And there's a job for everything. And today, we're going to get into the 5 nastiest jobs you can have inside prison. If you're eating, finish a sandwich and then come back. Finish whatever you're eating and then come back. Because some of this, it's not pleasant. But you know, I done seen it. I done lived it. So once again, let's relive it. Fun fact for you that you probably never knew or never thought of. Prison is not only full of convicts, inmates, guards, gay guys, shanks. Prison is also full of birds. Birds? Yes, birds. Every place I've ever been at had seagulls, had pigeons. One place in particular I was at, out in Chesapeake, Virginia, Indian Creek, had pigeons, seagulls, and ducks. Lots and lots of all three. Now you're probably wondering, okay, how does that tie into nastiest jobs? Coming in at number 5 is scrubbing the sidewalks. Yes, scrubbing the sidewalks. Now you're wondering, why are there so many birds in prison? Why would prisons be full of birds? Well, that's because guys will come out the Chow Hall, and one thing you're guaranteed to get with every single meal 3 times a day is some type of bread. Whether it be a rock hard biscuit in the morning, 2 pieces of bread at lunch, or a piece of cornbread at dinner, you're going to eat bread 3 times a day. Some of this bread is not edible. Some of it is so hard that you could take it, throw it, and injure another person in there. You can literally black somebody's eye with this biscuit, this hockey puck we call it, that was just put on your tray. We got some guys that they feed the birds every single day. They'll take that biscuit, put it in a napkin, and crunch it and crumble it up until it's a bunch of crumbs, put it in their shirt pocket. They'll come out the Chow Hall when the guard's not looking, because if they catch you throwing that bread to the birds, they're going to snatch your ass out of line, pull you to the side, you know, chew you out, write you a charge. They're going to do something because of what I'm about to tell you. Guys will come out, reach in their pockets, and throw the bread. And you better hope you're not standing where the bread is when it hits the ground, because if it is, seagulls, pigeons, and ducks are going to flock to you. They're going to cover you. They're going to go all around you. They do not care that you are a human being. You are standing in the way of their meal. Now, I would say 1 out of every 10 inmates that walks out that Chow Hall is throwing bread. And it's to the point that at Indian Creek, you had to make your way through the ducks. It was like this was their prison. You walked, they didn't budge out your way. You could trip over a bird. I've kicked several birds on accident just walking. What the hell was that? Just kicked a seagull. I just stepped on a damn pigeon. These birds are out there. Some of these birds are there year round. I've never been to a place where birds don't migrate like other birds. I'm like, we ain't leaving. Give a shit if I got to stand underneath that little overhang over there to get out the snow. I'm coming over here to eat this bread. I am not flying south for the winter. We had some birds up there that were injured. The birds would come flying in or trying to fly out, and they would hit the razor wire, And when they would hit the razor wire, it would destroy their wings. It would destroy their little legs, whatever. And now you might have a bird running around that's got no foot. I've seen a bird, and this is no bullshit. Joe from APS had talked about it. And I know the bird he's talking about, one wing. The bird was eventually eaten by a hawk. This bird's wing had got messed up in the razor wire to the point that all the feathers had fallen off of it. And it was just a bone. It was just the bone that used to hold wings. All the meat's gone. Now he just got a bone hanging out his arm. And that's it. So some of these birds couldn't leave if they wanted to leave. Now with Indian Creek, it's a therapeutic community is what they call it. They're going to change your behaviors, behavioral modification. That's why I couldn't figure out why I was there, because almost everybody there had a drug charge or drug history, and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. This is behavioral modification. I'm going to modify the way you think and your bad behavior before we let you go home. And doing that, you have to sit in this chair from first thing in the morning until lunch, and then from lunch till about 3:30, 4 o'clock, depending on who the counselor is. All day long, you're in this hard-ass plastic chair. They're in rows, and you're listening to somebody talk, whether it be an inmate or a counselor. That gets old real quick. Your ass gets sore. You get tired of people talking all day. Plus, if you're inside the pod all day, it gives you more chances to be written up by the police inmates. Yes, I said it. These inmates are writing each other up for things they're doing, getting each other in trouble, snitching on each other. If you're not in that building, you ain't really got to worry about that. I would see these guys leave every morning as we were doing group when I first got there. I'm thinking, damn, where are they going? They get to leave. I know, as a convict, that the best way to do time is to stay busy. When you're just sitting around and you don't have anything going on, time starts to slow down. Find yourself a job, work out, get outside that building, because sitting there all day is going to slowly drive you crazy. Maybe one weekend, I get called to commissary. They call all the guys that made commissary. I go over there, and I see these guys doing a job that I never would have imagined was a job inside the prison. These guys are out there with these big scrub brushes, these buckets of this green chemical solution diluted with water, and they are scrubbing the duck shit, the bird shit, the pigeon shit. They are scrubbing the poo off the ground. And they make this an all-day ordeal. Now, this isn't a little bit of poo. This is all the poo. It's green, it's brown, it's white. It is disgusting. Somebody's got to get it up. If not, in a matter of 2 days, you wouldn't be able to walk 20 feet without your boots or shoes being covered in duck shit. This was a highly sought after job. These guys would come back and their boots would be stained green on the bottom, and not from the chemical they were using, but from the duck shit. And in the meantime, while they're scrubbing, you got all the ducks, the pigeons, these different birds, seagulls, sitting back just looking at you, waiting in the grass. Like, soon as you done scrubbing, I'm gonna shit. I'm gonna shit right there, and you gonna clean it up again tomorrow, bitch. Yeah, think I'm playing. And it would literally happen. You'd watch it. You watch the guys clean off a 20-foot section, and it's usually 2-3 guys. They get 20 foot of it cleaned off, get to the next section, you look over, and the birds will be over there shitting on the sidewalk. Feeding them birds seemed like a nice thing to do, but the mess it left behind, glad that's a job I never had. Coming in at number 4, Chow Hall worker. The Chow Hall, the place you eat, the place your food is served, the place you go to grub down, is one of the nastiest places you will go inside the prison. The Chow Hall has more roaches and more mice than the trailer park on food stamp day. It's flooded. I can't tell you how many times I've gone and opened up a box of fruit so we could put fruit on people's trays, take the lid off of it, and mice just jump out and run everywhere. I can't tell you how many times food has shown up that's got to be served, and I pull the pan off the lid and the roaches scatter. How many times working in the Chow Hall when I would come in the morning and we'd go in the back and Turn the lights on, and you could see the walls and the floors moving from the roaches. The countertops where the trays are slid down. The countertops where the food pans are set up. You come in, and there's mice shit all over them. You're trying to scoop grits out of this pan to put it on somebody's tray, and the roaches are literally trying to eat from the hot pan of grits as you're serving it. Guys are looking. Man, y'all got roaches back there. This ain't my house, pimp. I'm not the Orkin man. What do I got to do with these roaches? Man, that's unsanitary. Y'all need to do something about that. I'm locked up just like you. What would you like me to do? I don't know, crush them or do something like. But ain't nothing I can do, man. There's millions of them. You would be standing there and you would feel them crawl up your pants legs. Give you the heebie-jeebies. Feel something on you? What the hell is that? Shake your pants leg and a roach fall out. You would make your tray and set it to the side. Stack your tray up with penitentiary food. By the time you were done serving and you got over to it, if you didn't put it somewhere where the roaches couldn't get, the roaches would have already contaminated your food. They'd be all over it. Now, it gets much worse than just the roaches and the mice. The mice do play a major part in what I'm about to tell you. So do the roaches, but it gets worse. How can it get worse? We have what's called a grease trap. A grease trap is what collects all the grease that is poured into the drains. You have grease from every meal. You have solids that go down the drains that have to be broken up before they go to the septic tank, or the septic tank will get backed up and overflow. This grease trap is in the back where the trays are washed. It's a stainless steel door on the floor. It's got a little latch on it. You lift it up. All the drains in the kitchen and the chow hall drain into this thing. The sink areas, the tray areas where the trays are washed, all that drains into this thing, and all the solids settle to the bottom, and all the fluids flow out to the septic system, right? This thing stunk. I'd seen guys clean it in the past, and when they would open it, the odor that would hit you from the collection of sour milk, old food, rotted meats all sitting in the bottom of this grease trap was overwhelming. Now, the problem at hand is the vents, the drains in the kitchen, the grates that go over them to keep things from falling in them had been gone for a very long time. There was no drain cover in the kitchens or on the floors, so things would fall in there and go into the grease trap. We start to get this smell in the chow hall. This is why I put chow halls at number 4, aside from the roaches and the mice. We start to get this smell. As soon as you come through the chow hall door, no matter what's being served, it just smells rotten. It just smells like death in the chow hall. It smells like just old broken zombie parts, and like that possum or that armadillo or whatever you might see on the side of the interstate that's bloated. It stinks of just rot in the chow hall. Nobody can figure out why. The guard's telling everybody, y'all need to find what that fucking smell is and get it up out of here. I don't know if one of y'all done hid something, something's done died, but y'all need to get that shit the hell out of here. We search everywhere. We can't find what the smell is to save our life. I notice when I go in the back near the tray room, the smell is just overwhelming. It turns your stomach when you walk in, much less when you go in the tray room. But we've come to the conclusion, whatever the smell is coming from the tray room. The guy that cleans the trays said, hey, I think it's coming from this grease trap, man. We're like, nah, the grease trap always smells. It can't be no worse than any time, out the ordinary. It's just what it smells like. I don't know, I think we should check. So he checks, pulls the lid up, and the grease level is really, really low. And I told you these pipes run into this thing and stuff drains out of them. He's looking, one of the pipes is clogged. He's like, man, the pipe is clogged. That's what's wrong. It's this stuff backed up in his drain right here that stinks. Dude tells him, well, unclog it then. So he gets a spork. And a spork is a combination of a spoon and a fork. Spork, made of plastic. Starts jabbing at this pipe, trying to get this clog out, and he's leaned over. He's got his arm about 1.5 feet down in here, trying to scoop, the inside of this pipe out that's supposed to drain into this grease trap. And when he does, poof, It pops open, all the stuff starts pouring in, and mixed into this is a whole bunch of mice. Rotted, decayed mice. Bloated, little zombie mice. They have fallen down in these drains, got stuck in this grease, couldn't make their way back up the drain because they were all greasy now. There's nothing to cling on to. And all these mice, and when I mean mice, it's a lot of them. To the point that when he unclogged it, little skeletons and little, maggot-infested mice and bloated mice, just the grease trap filled up instantly, and all you seen was mice and roaches floating on the top surface. I watched another guy that used to cook the pancakes and the fried eggs run to the trash can and just projectile vomit right into the trash can. Like I said, that puts the Chow Hall at number 4. We're going to leave the fact out that trays are spit on, dudes spit food out of their mouth back onto the trays, and you got to wash them and that stuff gets all over you. That's disgusting in itself. But due to the fact that that grease trap is located in that Chow Hall, from what I seen that day that was in that grease trap, yeah, good old Chow Hall gets number 4 on the list of nastiest jobs to have in prison. Let's get into the next one. Coming in at number 3, laundry worker. You do your laundry. Say you have a little accident and, oh man, I gotta clean these underwear for somebody to see them. Say your socks are funky and you gotta wash them. Now with the main laundry job, you have to wash everybody else's skid marks. You gotta wash everybody else's green stains. That's part of your job. Greensville had what's called a main laundry. You had a lot of institutions out throughout the state of Virginia that didn't have a main laundry facility. Their laundry would be loaded onto a tractor trailer. It'd be numbered. It'd say the institution's name on it, and it would show where we were at with these giant industrial washing machines, industrial dryers, and there was a whole rack of guys that worked in the main laundry. You would smell bags come in, and I smelled these passing by. With being the maintenance guy, I was always over there working on a machine or something. You would walk by a pile of laundry, and all it would take is one person's clothes to funk up the whole area. Now you fast forward to summertime, and you got all these sweaty clothes from men being outside. You got old guys who, are using the bathroom in their underwear and their laundries mixed right in there. You got mop heads that come from the infirmary, that come from the chow halls. And I'll never forget the day I stopped sending my clothes to the main laundry. And it was because I walked by a machine. And when your laundry goes to main laundry, it comes in a net bag. It's a big long bag that looks like an old school fishnet t-shirt material. It's nylon. It's tied in a knot with your clothes inside of it. It's got a little tag that hangs off of it with your building and your cell number. They sorted a bit according to buildings and pods, institutions. I walked by this washing machine one day, and lo and behold, I'm standing there doing something, and I look over and I see people's clothes being washed. And in this same washing machine, I see the mop heads. Dirty mop heads that come from the infirmary that mop up piss. Mop heads that clean up blood. Mop heads that clean the chow hall. Mop heads that guys use to clean their cells, around their toilets, in the showers. These are mixed in with guys' clothes. I've got a friend at the time, older guy that works over at Main Laundry, and he keeps coming back and he's telling me, man, the dude they got me working with is a weirdo. I said, what's weird about him? He's like, he's just weird. I said, how's he weird? He's like, just the things he says, man. He's like, I've caught him a couple times now sniffing sheets and things like that that's coming from the women's institution, Fluvanna. He's like, that he's sniffing the sheets and stuff, talking about something. Don't this smell like a woman? Don't this smell like a woman? She smells good. He's like, dude's a weirdo. Now their job was to load the sheets that came from all these different institutions into the washing machine. Then they would come out. When they were done loading, they would stand there all day and fold sheets and put them in stacks. And then they would be distributed back throughout the prisons, right? Comes back one day and he tells me, man, I told you dude was a weirdo. I said, what's crazy about him, man? What's weird about him? He said, Man, tell me why I came across a bag that was opened a couple days ago from the Women's Institute. And now with the bag being open, that means somebody opened it. These bags are loaded into big carts, put on the back of tractor trailers, and driven all the way to the prison I'm at from the other prisons. Like I told you, the females' laundry gets washed at our institute as well. He goes on to tell me, yeah, man, I found his bag. It was open. I left to do something, get some cleaning detergent, come back, and his bag's sitting there open, and I know there wasn't no open bags when I left, right? He said, so I just kind of brushed it off, didn't think about it. I said, all right, man, where you going with this? Get to the cut of the chase, man. Like, you know what I mean? What's going on? He said, I caught dude sniffing panties, man. I said, panties? Stop playing. He's like, yeah, man. Dude is a panty sniffer. He said he's taking out panties and looking for stains in them. Any type of stain. Whether it be white, whether it be brown, whatever. And he's standing over the corner sniffing the panties. Keeping some of the panties as keepsakes, I guess. Smuggling them back to the pod so he can sniff them later and get his rocks off. Dude's a weirdo. I said, yeah, all right. And this is what makes this the nastiest job, that number 3 nastiest jobs on the list, is the sheets you get from the infirmary. You're on dialysis, you're old, you've been in prison a very long time. And what, nothing against the old guys for what I'm about to say, but you can no longer hold your bowel movements. You go all over the sheets. You go all over your blanket. These things are gathered up. They're not put in a bag, and they're sent over to laundry. So here you are, sorting sheets, and you get a sheet that half of it's brown, half of it's green from pee. You get sheets from dudes that do not wash, dudes that do not shower. The guards say, hey, them sheets are yellow. You've had them sheets 3 months. You're going to change them out. By the time your day has ended and you have left the laundry facility and headed back to your building, you've now carried back the odor of all the nastiness and everything you've come in contact with during your day in the main laundry. The most you can hope for is that you don't got a guy standing over there, standing beside, sniffing the shit stains in women's underwear. There are some weird, very weird individuals in prison and in this world. But you're going to meet a lot more in prison than you would anywhere else. Who would ever want to smell Mary Jane Rotten Crotch's panties? For the life of me, I don't know. You don't know what the woman looks like that these panties came off of. And I can only imagine that if he was sniffing them, he might have gave them things a couple little licks too. Damn weirdo. Number 3 nastiest job, main laundry. Piss, poo, human secretion, blood, you name it, you're gonna deal with it. That mess that came after the mice and stuff were cleaned up, the mop heads were used to clean it up and then sent over there. And somebody had to pick those up and then wash them. Disgusting. Number 2. Coming in at number 2. The showers. Or the pod bathroom. It goes down in the showers. It goes down at that little urinal / sink that most pods got. Every pod has got what's called the pod bathroom. Every cell is equipped with a toilet and a sink. Combo kit. 2 for 1. Stainless steel jack. The bullet. You know what I mean? This is a toilet that when you run water in the sink, it runs out of your sink and down into the toilet. Every cell has one. But what if you're out there locked in the pod? What if your cellies sleep? What if you can't get in your cell and, Mother Nature comes calling. You gotta go. Right up there near the control booth is a toilet and a sink combo set up in like almost just like a little cubby hole area with no door where you have to use the bathroom. All day long, any and everybody in there is using the bathroom in this thing. You don't see many people go poo in it, but you see everybody up there pissing. Guys piss all over the sink, piss all over the toilet, all over the floor. Nobody has respect for that urinal or the man that cleans it up. You would think that would make it nasty in itself. That is part of your job to clean that. But that is not the only part of your job. The other part of your description is to clean the showers. Now, I've been in places that had single showers with a stall door cut in half. So from 3 foot up, it's open, and then there's a little small door that like hides your midsection, and the top part of it's open. It swings. That's it. At nighttime, it goes down in these showers. In the single showers, you got guys that go in there and they might take a pornographic picture in there, turn their back to the guard so the guard can't see them, and they're in there going at it. You got guys that got boys that are gay that'll sneak off when nobody's looking and go in there and they go at it. You got guys that are mentally disturbed in the head that will shit in the showers. Every place I've ever been, I've come across shit in the shower. Now, I would always rather it be a closed shower, a single man shower, than an open shower. With these open bay showers, it's much worse. Everybody knows after 9 o'clock at night, only one man in the shower at a time. This is a shower equipped for 5 men to shower. But after 9 o'clock at night, we got what's called the gun line. And the gun line is pretty much the entrance to the shower area. Somebody will lay a mop across that. They will put a chair there to block another inmate from coming in there. And there's a reason. Because after 9 o'clock at night, if you're looking to get your rocks off, you don't want to be disturbed, you put the mop there, you put the chair there, you go back in the shower area, go around a little corner where nobody can see you, you got a little privacy, take all your little favorite pictures back there and stick them to the wall, and you're back there with a bottle of lotion or whatever it may be. Here's what makes this the number 2 nastiest job. Do you think that when a man finishes doing that, he cleans it up? No, he does not. He leaves it there. He comes out, the next man goes, hey, I got next on the showers. You're talking sometimes 15, 20 men a night. I'm next, I'm next, I'm next, I'm next. One comes out, one goes in. One comes out, one goes in. Sometimes they go in, the water never even comes on, they never even shower. You just see it there, you hear a and you know what they're on the other side of the wall doing. It's nothing uncommon. What makes it the number 2 nastiest job is the fact that somebody's got to clean that up. I remember when I first got to this place, first thing in the morning, the guy the night before hadn't cleaned the showers. We go out, we go to rec, we lift weights, we come back in, and I'm standing there and I'm soaked up, and I look down at the drain, and the drain looks like, as the water's flowing over top of it, the drain is damn near clogged, and it's got these little strings all hanging out the side of it and floating in the water. They're not strings. I seen a guy sit his soap dish down one time, and we get this little plastic clear thing you put your soap inside. It's got a lid that goes on it so your soap don't make contact or anything. He sat his soap container down and picked it up, and it looked like snot on the bottom of it, but it wasn't snot. I think one of the nastiest fights I ever seen took place in the shower. And it was because one guy's job was to clean the toilets and the sink area, and the other guy's job was to clean the shower area, to get up all the babies, go over there to the daycare, make sure all the kids are gone. Disgusting, right? These 2 guys would alternate. So one night he cleans the shower, the next night he'll clean the toilets, the urinals, and the sinks. The guy cleaning the toilets, urinals, and the sinks decides he doesn't want to alternate. He doesn't want to clean the babies up off the floor. He's not into babysitting. He's not going over there and scrubbing up all the children that have been left behind by the men that have been in there the night before. We hear them in the bathroom, and we know they're getting ready to go fight. I go in there. I'm not going to say to be nosy. I was headed in that direction to piss, but I overhear them arguing as I'm headed in that direction. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go in there and piss and see what's going on. A couple other guys come to the door and they're watching what's going on, and these 2 dudes are arguing over them not swapping jobs that night. As I'm pissing, I see the guy go back around the wall past the gun line back there where he's mopping up, spraying the walls down, getting all the children gathered up and flushed down the drain instead of just being strings caught onto the drain. lost dreams. You know what I mean? That could have been the next LeBron right there, or the next Charles Manson. Who knows? I see him come back from around that wall, pushing that mop bucket, and dude is still talking shit. And he takes this nasty daycare mop and smacks dude in the face with it. Hadn't rinsed it, hadn't wrung it out, still had all the children clinging onto the sides of it. Takes that mop and smacks this other man upside the face with it, leaving everything you don't ever want no parts of all over his face. We wear shower shoes when we go in the shower, because the last thing you ever want to do is step on that shower floor with your bare foot. It's almost like flip-flops we wear, except they're hard plastic. You get what's called the foot if you step on that floor. Imagine what the foot is. The foot is when barnacles start going off the bottom of your feet, and you look down and a set of eyes blink at you from your heel one day because you done picked up something you didn't want. So yeah, number 2 is definitely the showers, the bathroom job, the pod urinal. Disgusting, disgusting job. And it gets even more real when you get to arguing with the other dude in there and he slaps you with a whole bunch of children on the end of a mop. So, nasty, nasty things you see. Coming in at good old number 1 is definitely maintenance. Now, maintenance is the gift and the curse. Maintenance is a great job to have because you're going to be able to move to parts of the prison that no one else ever sees. You're going to go into administration parts. You're going to go into the warden's office. You're going to go into the counselor's office, sergeant's office, lieutenant's office. Anywhere something needs to be fixed, installed, something new goes in, you having that job, you're going to go there. I've been all over the prison I was in. There wasn't a part of that prison I hadn't touched except outside the main gates. I actually at one point got called out of my sleep in the middle of the night to go fix the gate that secures, that keeps all the inmates in. One of the delivery trucks was pulling out. The guard hit the button to close the gate, and the gate closed on the back of the tractor trailer. And when it did, the tractor trailer kept going and just dragged the gate with it. Here it is, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm out there with a couple other guys, and there are guards standing all around us with shotguns and AR-15s pointed at us. And then at points, they would put it down, because I am never supposed to go anywhere near that gate, much less outside that gate or borderline outside that gate, for robbery and malicious wounding charge. They don't want me back in society until my sentence is up. The guys that are working beside me, several of them are lifers, convicted murderers. They don't want you anywhere near that gate, but it got damaged, and there we are. With having this maintenance job, I'd be in a lieutenant, sergeant's office, and when they're not looking or they leave out and I'm fixing something, I'm rummaging through their drawers. I'm taking all their ink pens, their paper clips, things that to y'all have no value. I'm going through the filing cabinet of contraband that has been taken from other inmates. I'm taking CDs. I'm taking CD players. I'm taking them freak books I told you them boys be taking them pictures out of and going up in the showers with. I'm taking tattoo equipment, tattoo patterns. I'm taking sewing kits. I'm taking all the things that the guards have taken from everybody else. When they're not looking, I'm rummaging and I'm filling my pockets up, and I'm coming back and I'm selling this stuff and I'm making a profit. There's the gift. Now you're probably thinking, maintenance, how is that disgusting? How is that the nastiest job? What do y'all do? Y'all fix cell doors and repair lights and fix TVs and washing machines all day? True indeed. But who do you think they call when the toilets start overflowing? Who do you think they call when somebody's flushed something and for 4 days now they continued shitting in this toilet bowl that won't flush? Because if they do flush it, everything comes pouring out and back down into the cell floor. Ding, 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 you guessed it right. They call this guy and a handful of other guys that work maintenance. With our list being so long of problems in the prison, we have to prioritize them by the order that they come in. So there would be times we would go to someone's cell. We would open what's called the chase closet right there in the middle, pull the cap off the back of the toilet, pull the little hook that's down in there that catches anything that gets flushed. And in doing that, sometimes it's going to go and hit you in the face. I got the poo on me. Now you alcohol wiping your whole entire face until your skin color changes. No matter how you try to avoid it, you eventually going to get the poo on you doing the maintenance. We wear latex gloves, rubber gloves. But these things don't go all the way up to your neck. So when something splats back and hits you on the side of your arm, get the alcohol wipes, get the sanitary wipes, and start cleaning that off, right? We get a situation over in the main building. This is where visitation is. This is where school is. This is where main laundry is. This is where Enterprise is, which is the company that makes these cubicles. Some prisons have them where they make license plates. Some prisons have ink cartridges, some package chemicals. It's all run through the same thing, Enterprise, VCE. We get a call over there one morning that every toilet in this massive building, every drain in there is flowing. There is shit pouring out of all the drains. I told y'all a similar story. This is way different. We get over there and we're running snake down every single drain. We can try to, figure out where the clog is. We have moved from section after section of the building, and there is shit and toilet paper floating everywhere. Here I am, old Sammy Sausage Head, the maintenance worker, that signed up for this. I'm over here with these rubber boots on. I got the biggest gloves I can get pulled all the way up my arms. I got like a damn poncho on the front of me, and it smells. I got a little cloth mask on my face, like something you would use if you were sanding something. Just a little white medical mask on my face, and we are running snake down every drain. They have cleaned this whole building out. So the beautiful thing is, as I'm moving from section to section and nobody's looking, I'll take these gloves off real quick, rummage through something, and fill my pockets up. We finally get down to the nitty-gritty of it. We finally find out where the clog is. I'm running this big industrial snake, pushing his handle, feeding the snake through, and I got these leather gloves on, because as I've told you, the snake is so powerful that if it grabs your hands or grabs these little plastic gloves on, it'll wrap your hands up and break your wrist as quick as it can pull your hands around. Snap them in half, pull your fingers off if it wants to. I've got these leather gloves all on, and I'm feeding the snake down into this floor drain, and I feel it bind up. I put it in reverse, start pulling the snake back out, and I pull out a ball of hair. How the hell is this ball of hair this big? This is a knot of long black hair with toilet paper, the poo, everything attached to it. Run the snake again. I pull it out. This time a couple tampons pop out. Another big section of hair. When we're done, I have a whole entire weave laying there on the ground, covered in shit, toilet paper, tampons, anything and everything you can imagine that was flushed down the toilet. If somebody went in the little bathroom in the hallway when nobody was looking, and that got caught right up on this weave, right? Administration comes over and they get to looking, what was it? They're thinking, oh, it had to be a weapon or something that an inmate flushed down the drain. Or it had to be a shirt, a piece of fabric or something that an inmate put in the drain. None of our officers would put anything in them drains to clog it up. Come to find out, one of the officers came to work, fresh weave in, thought she was stunting. People started clowning her, picking on her because of her weave. She went in the bathroom, pulled all the weave out of her head, I guess in her fit of rage, and flushed it down the damn toilet. The guards told me something. Well, we don't know, who did it. How do you not know who did it? A bitch came to work this morning with a full head of hair and left out here bald. And y'all can't figure out which bitch it is. It's the bald bitch. Think they did anything? No. They did absolutely nothing. Then we had to come back behind that, clean up all this poop, clean up all this nasty septic water, scrub the floors. All the wax on the floors had to be stripped off, because now you've got urine and feces soaked into the wax, and a bald-headed bitch walking around here with no repercussions. There was times working maintenance where I would go to somebody's cell and there would be 4 days worth of poop collected in the toilet bowl, and the moment you pull that plug out, and it goes down and just splats everywhere. I learned real quick to stand beside it and not in front of it, because you don't want none of that on you. I've gone back behind where people got stabbed and had to paint walls that had blood on them, clean floors and strip down floors, or repaint floor areas that are gray that were stained with human blood. Maintenance is by far one of the best jobs you can get if you've got the stomach for it. If you can deal with pulling pounds of shitty weave out of a pipe, and that be the curse, and the gift be everything else you get to get your hands on, moving across the compound and seeing people that other people couldn't see, being out your cell with nobody else. If you can weigh those two options out and deal with them both equally, maintenance is a great job. But if you got a weak stomach and a little, oh shit, what the hell was that? Oh, if that's gonna bother you, you better find another line of work. I had it happen to me. Why lie? We keep it real around here. That's what makes me a real one. You're gonna deal with some nasty shit, and I mean that literally. Number one, being a prison maintenance worker. So yeah, that's the top 5 nastiest jobs in prison. Sidewalks, chow halls, laundry, showers, and maintenance worker. 5 of the nastiest jobs you're gonna find yourself having the pleasure of doing. 5 jobs that guys are gonna fight over and try to get because they're highly sought after, but highly fucking disgusting at the same time. My advice to y'all is, find a job out here. Stop hustling, doing dumb shit to get you sent to prison, because you never know what you might end up having to do when you get in there. You might be that guy that's cleaning up the crazy guy's children out the bathroom. You might be that guy that's pulling shitty weave out of a pipe. You might be that guy that comes across an entire pipe clogged with grease and bloated mice. There's a whole lot that goes into it. I've told y'all before, and I'll tell you again. Stay free. Flip burgers. Cut grass. Cut hair. Tattoo. Do whatever. Work in the office. Be whoever you gotta be. Just don't be an inmate. There's ways to avoid ever having to do any of these jobs, and it's by using what's up here. I encourage you to change the things you're doing if you're headed down that path. I encourage you to not go to prison or ever look at these stories and think that that's somewhere you want to be, because I promise you it's not. It's no playground. You may have laughed at some things during the story, but what you're failing to realize if you're laughing is that for every one of these stories I was incarcerated. For every one of these stories it was a day away from my family. It was a day that my son grew older, a day that my mom's hair turned gray. It was a day that I was away from the free world. Stay free and live your best life. But anyways, man, y'all already know these prisons, jails, institutions, detention centers, they're all just crazier worlds inside of this already crazy world that we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Y'all know how we do, man. Salute. Splat.